take two today, the actual episode 15. I mismarked one before my birthday. It's the Yarn Closet from Tucson, Arizona. I am Yarn Closet Arizona on Ravelry and Instagram, the Yarn Closet page on Facebook. We have lots of stuff to discuss, so I have notes. I'm hopefully going to do a little more than the 10 minutes because the kids are at grandma's right now. So dig in, grab your knitting, grab something to drink, and I'm excited for today. I've had a few people reach out to me because I've been reaching out to more people. The question is, what is your business? The Yarn Closet isn't currently a for-profit business. I do lessons for kids, group and one-on-one and grown-ups. It's been a while since I've had a grown-up. I do finishing work. I would crank sock tubes for people locally. However, no one has asked and I haven't really marketed that. I am a newbie sock tube cranker. I have not successfully reached socks on the circular sock machine. I have a Gerhardt, Erlbacher Gerhardt. Look them up. It's fabulous. I'm starting to do more tubes for headbands and gifts, all kinds of stuff, and really enjoy it. But I'm really slowly getting into it and going from one step to the next because I just want to enjoy it. There's enough stress in everybody's life, right? So the big question is, what are you doing? Why are you sending gifts? Why are you giving prizes? What are you doing? I'm sitting here talking to myself and you because I've seen the community that other people have created, and most of them, yes, it's around a business, but I've seen people successfully create community when there is no business. It's just a very loved hobby and enriching part of their lives. So in teaching my kids that if you want to have a friend, you have to be a friend, I have chosen to put myself out there and try to be that friend. Through a couple of swaps, I've already made connections with women I really, really enjoy. Annie Goldberg for one, Barbara from Knitting I Love, and oh my gosh, Levi from WTF commented about us the other day because I'm sending him some sock tubes for a giveaway. And my son just was ecstatic. And to see joy in their faces and to know that we all just love the same thing. And in our own little way, we're trying to get together and feel connected. We need that nowadays because a text doesn't do it. It just doesn't. We need more of that interaction, and so in whatever way we can get it, I'm going to, because it's necessary. Oh, so on that note, with the prizes, I did a birthday podcast. I had a random prize winner. She has emailed me, but you need to email back with your address. You were so excited, you didn't put that in. And the other first commenter, their prize is in the mail. I have had, on my own account, some really great swaps recently, and it's been fabulous. However, I've had a couple of fails. I would love some comments to know, is that more prevalent? It hadn't really occurred to me. Am I just that naive? I really don't think so. I guess that's a lot of the chitter chatter. What is going on my needles these days? I have recently picked colors for a mystery knit along that I saw promoted from Lolo Did It with, I think with Webster Street Knitting, I'm not sure. So these are the colors that I've chosen. One of the things that I've noticed lately in picking some different yarns and doing more tubes is it is shocking what this looked like in a skein versus a cake versus a knit up tube. And I think I'm going to start taking some pictures and posting that because it's just so neat. I think it really is hard at times to look at a skein and gauge what fabric you're going to get out of it. And yes, different stitches are going to give you a different feel for the pattern and whatnot, but I still think it's fabulous. So that I think starts next week, where we get our first clue, and so I'm really looking forward to it. I did another stripeless and Guli cowl, and this is not fingering weight, it's a DK. But it's just once you get a handle on the shaping, it's fabulously neat. Oh gosh, here, I'll do it. Ugh. You know, so I made this one still. It wasn't the full 22 inches. It was more like 18 or 19. And because I like it just a little bit tighter. Oh my gosh, somebody said I could do this. No, I really couldn't. But we drive our little electric mobility cart bicycles to school and back, and it will start getting chilly in the mornings. So the one I did out of Artistic Lily's cacti, I think my son will be wearing. I'm guessing my daughter will wear that one, and I'll have to finish up another one. Or I had started this one. This is a sport weight, and I did it a little bit denser than the pattern, but it is with the striping. So maybe I'll finish this one for my daughter since she's 3, and I could make it significantly smaller. And then I'll use the one that you just saw. And that was out of this Swedish yarn, naturally soft, 100% merino, Millamia. I like superwashes because I'm a mom and I'm legally blind. So everything bakes in my oven at 350. Everything washes in my laundry at regular. Cold. It's just the way it goes. I am starting a thread in the group on Ravelry for some of those patterns that I have done more than once. I don't tend to keep much of what I make. I gift it, and I don't always take pictures. And yeah, sometimes I think later I should have, but oh well. Here is a sock tube I cranked. Okay, here's a hung hem. It's just folded over for a shorty sock, because when you have these hung hems, and Barbara, you should take note of this, you can put your heel in very close to this hung hem. And so this really will make, for my US 7.5 foot, I can get a sock out of this with using an alternating heel and toe pretty easily. Now, I did finish up the blue pair I showed on my last podcast, my birthday podcast. See, and so then this is waist yarn, and then this is the next folded hung hem, and then this is the next one. But there's a bit of a oops in one of them. Yeah, right here, where I didn't catch that I'd lost a stitch for a bit. So I'll figure that out. I made a really nice pair that I posted on the last podcast. Oops, Sadie, come put your face back up. There you go, Sadie. Say hi. She's laying here right next to me. Sadie is my standard poodle guide dog who's in retirement. I put in what I guess they call a deeper heel instead of my afterthought heel just being half the stitches, I put in an extra stitch on each end, and I think I will actually consider doing maybe 2 on each side because it felt better. I liked it. I liked it a lot. And so the other thing I'm doing with some of these tubes that I've been cranking, because oddly enough, you'd think, oh, you just crank it, you make this beautiful fabric. The thing is very delicate. So I'm trying to come up with things to do for the tubes. One of them is the headbands. I'm learning how to have oopses and fix them. I'm really trying to master each step before I just jump, because my life can only tolerate so much frustration right now. And I'm really debating if I use this to make socks for my aunt or make a little holiday headband. Because having some completion right now just sounds fabulous. Sounds absolutely fabulous. You know, one of the things I came across the other day as I was assessing what I have, because I really want to start a sweater, but I don't exactly have a sweater quantity that I like. I have a couple of fade sweater quantities. I have a couple of sweater quantities out of this Highland DK from Cloudborne. I have taupe heather and gray heather. The pictures made them look more tonal than what they look in the skein. And they're just a little bit, you know, I knew they were gonna be a bit toothier, but, and I do wanna make some cardigans, so not next to skin wear. So I don't know, we'll see. But I found a couple of old patterns. I have some Monostel Uruguay, Baby Alpaca, Pima Cotton. It feels fabulous. I'm hoping that the cotton doesn't overtake it, but I've kind of felt like with the pattern that it has. And I made some oopses, and I'm kind of annoyed by that. And it's basically just 2 big rectangles, crocheted, and then seamed together on the sides with a very boat neck. And I don't know if I'm gonna rip it out and start again or what. So if anybody has worked with that Manos, drop me a comment and let me know if it's really gonna keep its shape or if it's gonna just stretch. Because I also found in another bag another sweater, and I was practicing on this one backwards knitting, because once again it's just 2 rectangles, and this is a pure Pima cotton. And although it seems light now, I don't quite like the definition it's giving in the stitches, but I don't know, you know, do you get back to it after it's sat for more than a month? Or do you rip it out and start again? I don't know. What's the deal? What do you do? Comment and tell me. Because then I've got this one, which I'm not ripping out. It's a lovely little triangle shawl fade of odds and ends. And so this is just gonna stay, and I know it might take months to finish, and that's fine because it's just about using up the scraps. But I've got these 2 quantities of the alpaca cotton and the regular cotton, and I'm just not sure if I'm doing the right sweaters with them. Oh God, do I need to brush my hair today? Definitely shower. And then these. I'm just thinking it's not going to be cold enough where I am. And so I'll have to do something and send it away to my cold weather friends. But it's not the fun yarn. You know, I don't know. I do not know. I do not know. Once again, I am thinking about more content because I'm a mom. I think I can only stay on track for about 15 minutes and then I lose it. I'm thinking by the time my daughter's 5, give me another 2 years and we'll be good to go. Sadly, I thought that would take much more time. I wanted to chat. I wanted to talk. Oh, well, I'll say this much. I will absolutely add this in. See this? I don't even know if I'm doing it right because I twisted it once. I think maybe I have to twist it twice. I don't know. I love these. I have tried 2, 3, 4. I've tried like 5 different kinds of point protectors, stitch holders. They stretch out, they fall off. I love this. First of all, I love it because I love the colors. I love that it's bigger. I love that the needle is all encased. And that's from Knitting I Love. Barbara makes those and I think it's just absolutely fabulous. I don't know. I don't know. So I'm loving that. So I just started working up after I finished that cowl at work today. I just started doing another triangle to gauge what the shaping would be like. There are some people I watch and I'm amazed. I look back at a sweater that WTF Levi did way back and he seemed nervous about it, whatever, and now he is like sweater guru, but he really does the math and he follows the pattern and he knows the adjustments he wants to make. And I come from crochet and I come from not being able to easily physically read and getting lost in elaborate lace type patterns, which is typically more crochet. So just doing my own thing, coming up with simple repeats, whatever. And now I find myself wanting to do that instead of following the patterns, but I need to follow the pattern. And that's why I'm doing the mystery cal through Lolo and I think it's Webster Street, because I need to follow the pattern. I need to trust the pattern that I'm going to get what I want. That if I have the gauge, I will get the right sizing, I will get the right fit. And I sometimes don't quite understand that positive ease, because although now I'm at that age where I want the positive ease, I don't want to feel like I've got too much positive ease. I don't know. And everybody's like into the boxy thing these days and whatnot. And but I also don't want to make things too fitted, because that seems like if I make an error or mistake, it'll be too obvious. So that's how we stretch ourselves. But like I said, we are embarking on 11 days of the kids home from school, me not working. I'm going to do a little work from home. There'll be 2 days where I'll do a little bit of work from home. And I'm really hoping to enjoy it. I'm planning to do some cooking with my daughter. Very simple stuff. She loves to cook, which is funny because I went to cooking school twice. Once for blind people. That was entertaining. And it's become more of a challenge because you have to do it based on the smell and the feel, because you can't get your face right up in that saucepan. And I think that's one of the reasons why I really love the knitting and the crocheting, because even as things get blurrier, my ability to feel the stitches as I go along and knit with the simpler patterns is so nice. It's harder for me to use thin yarn when I'm crocheting because I feel stitch by stitch, and it's harder to feel that definition with the thinner yarns, where then I can do that with socks and knitting and sweaters and fingering weight and shawls and stuff, and that's a real sense of accomplishment. I think one of the things, hi, did you have a nice break outside? Hi, little Chip Chip. If you've ever known somebody who's gotten sick or had a major illness, even if it was something that they came out of later on, it changes your perspective. When I was younger, I was more accomplishment driven, and I knew I was losing my vision, and one of the things I did was moved faster because people would get out of my way. I bought a bigger truck so that people on the road would get out of my way. I pushed the cart faster in Target or the grocery store. And what I've learned now, since I've kind of gone to the other side, is to slow down and really appreciate that although I can't crank out a sweater in 2 weeks, that what I can do, even if it is simple garter stitch, through the joy of the indie dyers and the fabulous yarns, I can still make things that are useful, and I can still feel that sense of accomplishment and pass along that little bit of love. I know that many people I give little yarn gifts to think, what? But a lot of people don't have that grandma in their life to make that baby blanket or make that baby hat, or I just don't think people get physical little things from each other the way we used to. When I was a kid, you sent thank you cards. When I was a kid, you got physical invitations, not evites. It's just a little bit different now. And I'm trying to embrace the difference, but also maintain some of the old school. And I'm trying to teach my kids that, because I do see some of their struggle socially is coming from this very different environment we have nowadays. Most kids, 10 years old, 12 years old, they don't have hobbies, hands-on hobbies. They don't sit around and read books at night. They don't sit around and cross stitch or crochet or knit. We didn't even sit around as a family and watch a lot of TV until I was in high school. I remember coloring in coloring books, trying to get watercolor, paint by numbers. I remember trying to cross stitch, even though that was so hard for me, and reading and doing quiet things with the family. I mean, that's it. And when we do that now with our kids, they love it. There is a joy in it. Probably because it's not that every night thing like when I was a kid. But I really enjoy that you have sat here and listened to my ramblings and my little joy with my pups. And oh, the light is getting you. And Sadie there again. I love you. This is also Sadie, my little Sadie tattoo. So I really appreciate it because so many people have been there for me during those moments where I just needed a little sound in the background, and a little joy and a little laughter and a little singing to keep me company as I knit in my evening or have my moments. So I hope you remember to have some nice knitting moments throughout the rest of this week. The birthday podcast is done. I already picked the winner and contacted her today from the random drawing, and the first commenter was already contacted and her gift is in the mail. Check out the Yarn Closet group on Ravelry. We have different threads. There will be prizes. There are pictures always of the stuff that's going to be going out. And thank you for the people who have been open to my contacting them and helping me to become a part of this community that is valuable. So thank you and enjoy your knitting.